first 31 days of 2024 has come to an end, and this month January has taught me quite a lot, ranging from philosophical up till academical. So I hope that this video will be both entertaining as well as meaningful in a way.
When you do the things you love, it really doesn't seem like time waste. And even those things which other people might do superficially, if you take your time in doing it, it just fills you with gratitude and it just becomes even more meaningful. And throughout this video, you are going to understand this entire sentence much more properly, and let's get into it. Now, I've always considered myself to be a morning person, but to be honest, the previous few months I kind of messed up my schedule. I didn't really have a strict routine. So the new year was kind of an excuse for me to get back on track, and I started waking up early again. So like just waking up early when most of the other people are sleeping, taking time to introspect, observe and even study, and also going on morning walks and just wishing good morning to the other people who are also going on a walk.
So it's now 7 in the morning and it just feels really good to go walking. I'm listening to a podcast. Actually it's a book, but then I found an audiobook of it. And I sometimes listen to some chants as well. So that's how my morning goes. And it really does shape it all.
The next thing which this month has taught me is how precious friendships are. This sounds really deep, and it kind of sort of is, because if you think about it, the way we celebrated New Year and even the Ram Mandir inauguration, we were all together. We had that bond connection kind of thing. 31st December today, and what are we doing, Devasmita?
We're making paneer bhurji.
Yes, for everyone in the hostel. Yes, and she's the chef. I'm the assistant. So that's that. Bye. It just kind of shows how united we are, and that really meant a lot to me and to everyone else. Now when it comes to academics, there is a lot when it comes to the MBBS course, and that's known to everyone. But what I've realized is that when it comes to knowledge, you can always learn more when you go to the base level. Especially during this month, I've come to terms with accepting that I don't know everything, and it doesn't mean that I'm inferior or less knowledgeable than another person. But in order to develop yourself, you really need to ask another person, and by observing their characteristics and by observing how they're doing things, that's how you move further from that. So for example, in the dissection hall, I am not able to theoretically combine things to the practical thing which is presented to me. But at that point, if I go to a more knowledgeable person, then I can derive the knowledge. So that is the best thing which you can do, and that's what January has taught me. Now, around mid-January, I started getting a feeling of emptiness or hollowness from within. And this was mainly because I met my parents and my brother in the month of December. We went on tour and all of that. So I got that connection once again. So around mid of January, I started getting these low feelings that no one really understands me and everyone only knows me superficially and that sort of thing. It wasn't that deep, but then at that point, I really found that opening up to other people around you does help. Enjoy my me time, but then sometimes when you take that extra step to talk to someone who is close to you, it does boost yourself and you do know how to get back on track. Osama Shauki visited our college, and he is very prestigious when it comes to the terms of laparoscopy. So he even conducted a surgery at our hospital, and even though I could not understand anything, it just made me realize why I've come into this field, and it just gives him more passion to what I'm doing. So that was one major thing of this month as well.
In conclusion, January 2024 has certainly taught me quite a few things, from allowing the elements of nature to tone my day to valuing friendships on a deep level. Literally each day of January had a point worth noting for the future. Another thing which I learned is that there is always time to learn, and that the only thing that you should be equipped with if you want to acquire knowledge is if you're at this ground basic level, and also if you have a passion for learning. I realized that it's important to evaluate oneself, and you need to be strong and prevent yourself from getting into any sort of inferiority complex. This has also kind of been the month which has touched upon ways to deal with certain sorts of vulnerabilities. Days will always fly by, but you need to be able to cherish certain things which will help build your character and develop your life. That's it for now. Come back next week for more Time Out with Aisiri. Bye.
Hello. You can go to a big... आवाज आ रही है ना पीछे से?
स्वाति तू ये क्या कर रही है चुप के?
We just have to keep on eating. Okay. Bye.